New banner is up for Mayo, so let's talk a little bit about if it's worth pulling for her or not, and on what situations I would actually recommend grabbing a copy of this new, well, not new, not really new, right? On the first banner that the Sprite Mayo is getting. So as usual, hello the internet, welcome back to the Waifus. I'm Sefhi, your favorite gambling addict. Obviously, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, help me get out the channel. A couple things before we go into the video. I finally 5-star Epica. We do not talk about how many pulls that was. It's not necessary to talk about it. And then second, for reference, for damage numbers later that I will be showing, my Mayo is now 4 stars, but she was 3 stars when I was doing the test earlier. But right now she is 4 stars. She is rank 7, not enhanced the gear just like before, and her skills are at the basic 777. I am not investing anymore in her, and her first board, it's simply just taken both of the nodes. So let's go over the basics, if it's worth pulling for her or not. TLDR, if you don't want to watch the whole video, it's not worth pulling for Mayo unless you are building a main madness team. That is the only reason. And even as a main madness team, there is no reason to be using her because there are other alternatives. So let's talk about that. The first thing when pulling a character to check if it's, a not meta unit, if it's their board is good, which in the case of Mayo is not. It's both defensive stats, defensive for crit, and normal defense for physical and magical attack. And the second thing to consider when a character that's not meta, if it's worth pulling for her or not, it's the A-Club resources, which in the case of Mayo, it's also pretty bad. The only thing she provides is wood, which can be used early on to level up initially your buildings, but you don't need any of this unless you are looking for cooking materials, which most people are not. So her A-Club is not good, her board is not really good. The only really 2 places where you will be using her is Dimensional Clash. On the previous Dimensional Clash that was weak to Madness, I actually used her and I had a fun time with her and she was carrying a little bit. And also on Yggdrasil, she will be able to be used. On both Campaign and Yggdrasil, it's not really the best character to be using. Like, you don't even need to be using her, and I'm gonna be showing some damage number comparisons now. But at the moment, the team you can run for Madness, right, the most important character for both Dig Site and Campaign, it's Alice and getting her card, because that's what's going to be carrying you on both Dig Site and Campaign. Obviously, your main characters are still going to be Chloe, Leeds, and Diana, because they are the core elements here. But then the last 3 characters can be anything. It does not have to be Belita and Mayo like I'm using myself. You could be removing them and using something else. You could be using Shady. Most people running a full personality mad team are using Shady for the SP and the damage. And the last spot can be anything. It can be Assist, it can be your Mayo, it can be your Belita, but it's not necessary to be running her, even if you invest in her. Now, if you decide to fully invest in her and you like her and you want to be using her, how is her damage looking like, right? Is it a good damage or not? So let me open here and show you guys some numbers. So this was on Dig Site earlier. I was pushing Dig Site on different setups. And as you will see, the biggest downside that right now the Madness team has is that there is not any per carry. The closest thing would be Leeds, depending on the items you get, or Alice with her card, and that's like about it. But as you can see, Belita using a cake, and then Mayo having a Dragon Light and 2 Jade Codex, and she's not doing more damage than Belita. And Leeds is doing also 11 million, and then we're doing 6 million with Chloe, right? This is no items on Mayo, and then Alice with her card and 2 items doing more. Once again, Leeds doing really good, and Chloe doing 7 million as well. Like, the front line is the strongest side that the Madness team has, not really the other characters. Anything else is kind of a filler. Mayo 3 items, and then Alice card plus a cake from not butter, sorry, from Erping, and still Alice is carrying harder than what Mayo is doing while having 3 items, right? And still Leeds doing more damage. But as you can see, even if I put 3 items on Leeds, right, and Alice, I think she had 3 or 2, I don't remember, and then Mayo having 1 Dragon Light, it's not that big of a difference. Your leads is still the one doing damage. If you have Shady, she will be doing damage. But there is not a huge difference when you are running no items or a lot of items. Like, all of them are decent damage dealers. Here, 3 items on Mayo, 1 on leads, no items on Belita, and then it's 11 million, 9, 10. So, like I was saying earlier, I wouldn't really pull for her unless you really like her and her skin. She does have a cute skin, to be fair, okay? I have not buy it yet. I might get it, but it's a cute skin, this one here. But unless you really like her, there is no reason to really go and pull for her. Her whole kit revolves about damage over time. When it comes to items that are actually good for her, in case you want to be running her on your team, there are a few. Obviously, Dragon Light Sword always is good for this character. Battle Yellow card, because of the enhanced attack, is also good for her. And then there are a couple other extra ones. She is physical damage, so Moonflower and Cake are out of the way. Second one being the All Wooden Dagger, because this is SP recovery, and SP recovery is good no matter the character. Could be the All Wooden Dagger, could be the Chalice of Origins. In a pinch, can even be the Healing Pendant, because it has really good regeneration per second, right? So any of those 3 items are good on any DPS. And then the last item that in her case is actually good is the Ring of Greed, because it increases status effect damage by 15%. You would have to actually stack multiple of these to like be worth it on a 15% versus just running, obviously, a properly built Dragon Light Sword with multiple dupes, right? But still, it's a really good item for her. So if you do have a Ring of Greed invested, it's great on Mayo. Other than that, there is not a lot of other items that I would recommend, and even Ring of Greed, it's kind of like copium at the moment. Damage over time. Outside of Mayo, there is not that many units that can really take advantage of it, and if they are not even on the same team, right? So that's basically everything for this video. Like I was saying at the beginning, not really worth pulling unless you really love her, or unless you really want to be making a full 9 unit, 9 apostle team for Dimensional Clash. In Dimensional Clash, she is great. Outside of that, non-necessary. All that jumping aside though, she's pretty cute, so if you want a copy, now is the time to be pulling for her, but I will not be using any more resources on these 2 banners. I'm done with Epica, and I'm not pulling for Mayo myself. Enough japping, we are live every single day as usual. Links in the description down below. If you guys have any questions, feel free to also leave a comment, and I will see you on the next one.